What do I mean by the appraisal came in short or came in lower? Okay, so that's what we're going to be going over in this video. I'm going to help you home buyers navigate what does that mean so that way you're better prepared, especially when you're in your own escrow and you're wondering what is your options or what can you do as a home buyer, okay? So, let's get into the video. We're going to be going over what does the appraisal coming in short mean. All right, guys, let's get into it. First off, what you need to know as a home
Is
buyers, the
that when
first thing you need to know that when you are buying a home and you are using a home loan to buy the home, needing you're going to use an FHA loan, a conventional loan, a VA loan, a USDA loan. If you need a loan to buy the home because you don't have all cash, you will be needing to get an appraisal done on the house that you're buying. Okay. The lender or the bank is going to order a appraisal to get done to the house to make sure that you are not overpaying for the home and that you're paying market value for the property. Now, I know you're going to ask me, who pays for the appraisal report? The home buyer pays for the appraisal report to get done. They're usually between $500 to $650. It all depends on the company that the lender is using. Now, I know you're also wondering, oh, does the lender know the person that's going to go do the appraisal on the home, or does the buyer know the company or the person, or does the seller know the person that's going to go do the appraisal to the home? And the answer is no. The lender has a company that they work with where they hire appraisals or the person that's going to do the appraisal for the house, and they get randomly picked and send out to the property. Okay, they are going to contact the listing agent to ask what's a good time to go and do the appraisal. So that way the seller maybe leaves the house so that they can do the appraisal to the home, or the listing agent can go and meet the appraisal person, the person that's doing the appraisal at the property. Okay, that's how it works. So nobody in the transaction knows the person that's doing the appraisal personally. Okay. They're randomly selected. Okay. Because I get this question all the time. Now, if you are using a loan, any loan, the bank is going to make sure that that house gets an appraisal done. Now, going into the question to, oh, what do I mean when I say the appraisal came in short? Okay. What I mean is, let's say you're a home buyer and you offered the seller $430,000 for their property. But the appraisal got ordered, the appraisal report came in and is saying that that home, it's not worth $430,000. It's actually worth $420,000. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say the appraisal came in short, meaning that maybe you offered a higher amount. Okay, because maybe you were in a multiple offer bid and you wanted the home. Okay, and the house went from 420 to 430 or whatever the case is. And now you put in the offer at 430, but the house did not appraise at 430. It appraised at 420. That's meaning the appraisal came in short. Now, as a home buyer, what are your options when the appraisal comes in short? Okay, you're going to have three options. Okay, the first option is renegotiate with the seller for you to be able to purchase the home or drop down the price to 420,000, because you need to keep in mind the bank will only lend you 420,000, not one penny more. Okay? So that's one negotiation. The second negotiation will be, okay, for the seller to ask the buyer to come in with the difference of the money, meaning that you give in $10,000 out of pocket cash to the seller in escrow for the difference, because you offered him 430, and now but the house is valued at 420. So I mean, you really got to think about that one. Would you do that? Okay, so that's going to be another option. So the third option is going to be for the home seller and their listing agent to do a rebuttal or ask for a rebuttal to the appraisal. Okay, how are they going to do this? They are going to go ahead and show the appraisal what they think, or what homes they missed, if they did miss any homes, okay? Or why they think their home value is worth the certain amount, meaning they probably think that the appraisal missed some of the upgrades, or the appraisal report doesn't show certain items that the seller feels would bring up the home value. Seller can decide to do a rebuttal with their agent. Okay, so their agent is going to show them homes that have sold for the price that you have submitted for their home. Okay, and show them the condition. Okay, and in the appraisal report, it's going to show all the houses that they did take into consideration. Now, let's say that the agent wants to rebuttal it, or the seller, because they took into account a home that's not in the list that the person doing the appraisal, okay, is showing that they used that home, but they took that home into account. So they can go ahead and do a rebuttal. Okay, they can, that can take a couple of days or a week. Okay, it all depends how fast the person doing the appraisal gets, looks at it, agrees or disagrees, and that's going to be up to that person that did the appraisal report to either agree that the price needs to be higher, or agree and leave it at the price that it came in at. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, so those are your three options. A lot of the times, the home seller, of course, is going to want you as a home buyer to pay for the difference. Now, me as an agent, our job is just to guide you. I would recommend not to go that way, but at the end, it's going to be the buyer's decision if they're going to want to pay for the difference in cash or in escrow, okay, but in cash out of pocket, to give the seller the 430,000, which I don't think that's the best decision, especially for a first time home buyer, or a buyer to walk into a home and you're walking into a home that has no equity. Okay, I don't think that's a great decision. But in the end, you need to decide, you as a home buyer is going to decide what's your options that you're going to do. Okay, now as an agent, I would recommend for the buyer, okay, to tell the seller, hey, the appraisal came in at 420, not at 430. Okay, I would like for you to leave me the home for 420,000, because that's the price that the home appraised for. Okay, now if you were a seller, I'm pretty sure you would want for the buyer to even give you 3,000 or 5,000, okay, because that's what always happens. It always happens where they want you to come in out of pocket maybe 3,000 or 5,000, and that way the seller feels like they're not losing the whole $10,000. And they're really not losing the $10,000 because the house didn't appraise for that the amount. Okay, it didn't appraise for the 430. It appraised for 420. So that's when the appraisal comes in short. Okay, I'm trying to give you as much details so that you're better informed when you're in this situation. Okay, and an appraisal comes in short. What are your options? What you need to do? How you and your agent should deal with it. Okay, because there's another thing too, because you're gonna ask the seller too. You're gonna ask the seller to renegotiate the price, right? To lower the price. But a lot of the home buyers don't want to share the home appraisal report. Okay, if I'm the agent, I'm going to talk to the home buyer and actually tell him, hey, I think you should share the appraisal report. Yeah, the appraisal report is for the home buyer and the lender. Okay, the home buyer did pay for it, but you're wanting to renegotiate the price of the home. Why would the seller take your word on it? Okay, keep that in mind. That's what I always need to tell, because a lot of the buyers are like, oh no, I paid for it, I'm not going to give them that report. But really keep in mind, okay, think about it. Okay, this is a think about it moment. If you're a home seller and the buyer's telling you that your house came in at undervalued for 10,000 or 20,000, are you just going to take the word of the buyer, or you're going to want to see proof that the house didn't come in at the home value, at the asking price or the offer price? Okay, so that's how you can get into negotiations quickly. Send over the appraised value, send over, hey, we want the price of the home to be at the appraised value. You could do that. Okay, if that's what you want. Okay, your agent should work for you. Okay, your agent needs to work for you. Okay, you send, this is how I would do it. I would grab the appraisal report. I would do an addendum with the price to be 420. Send the appraisal report and send it over to the agent. So that way they can talk to their client, and guess what? If they don't agree, then they can send you another addendum, or they can tell you no, they want to cancel escrow, or what is it that they want to do. They're not just going to cancel escrow. The seller's going to tell you what he wants to do. Okay, but at least you as a buyer and your agent need to tell the other side what you want to do too. Okay, now what I'm seeing a lot right now is that a lot of agents don't want to write up addendums. Oh, it's just another paper. No, write up the addendum. Okay, protect your client. Okay, I mean, I know, I'm sorry, we need it. A lot of agents are like, oh, I don't want to do another paper, push another paper through. Well, guess what? You need to push another paper through. Okay, send out the addendum, get it in down right away if that's what your client wants to do. Now, if your client wants to come up, or whatever you want to do, if you want to come up or if you want to come out of pocket, whatever action you as a buyer you want to do, that's what you need. You and your agent need to send out the addendum, so that way the seller knows where you're at and what you want to do. Okay. A lot of the times agents can just go over it on the phone, but I suggest you you write down what you want with your agent. You get it done, and especially if it comes under value, I'm gonna send the I want to tell you to send the appraisal report. That way he knows exactly what the value is. Okay. Now, if the value of the home comes up higher, oh, okay, that's a different thing. Not just all right, guys. I hope that I was able to explain what do I mean when the appraisal comes in short. Okay, meaning all it is that you offered a home seller a price. Okay, let's say 430,000, and the appraised value for the house, meaning that the lender sends somebody to go check the house, go see what the condition is, how does it look, what's the area, all of the things that the appraisal looks at for coming up with a home value. And they decided that the house is not worth $430,000. It's worth $420,000. Okay, so now you have to renegotiate the price or see what you and the home seller are going to want to move forward, or you want to cancel escrow. Okay, you guys, because the buyer and the seller need to come to an agreement on what they're going to do to move forward. I hope that you guys enjoyed this information, and I hope that I was able to explain to you exactly what your options are and what the appraisal coming in short means. Okay, all right guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, Angelica Bonilla here with Excellence Real Estate and the Bonilla Group. Bye guys, see you on the next video.